Gaming. iPad kids.
I send them in. I said, Mom's got to go.
Mom's got to work. Mom is momming.
I took a puff of a Virginia Slim. I said, back
in the basement.
Go get in the basement.
Go get in the basement and you play your games.
Don't answer the door for nobody.
Not a one. Oh, so Tristan's home. He's the one watching Lachlan.
He's in charge. But I'm telling you, when we are talking game time, I know these children have sat down with their devices, whatever that is.
And have not moved.
And they have not moved.
No.
In the last 2 hours. I know they haven't moved.
No.
And I do have a rule. I don't want you eating when I'm not there.
Yeah.
For choking reasons. I do have a choking device.
Yes.
But,
we know.
And I've taught them how to use it.
Of course.
But just in case, I'm like, if you don't need to eat, just please don't.
Yeah, we don't do baths or showers. Well, now it's different.
Now they're older.
Obviously, Bella is about to go to college, so she can shower.
But that's a good point.
It was a rule when they were younger.
Yeah.
And we were leaving them alone at 9 and 11, maybe even a little bit younger.
Yeah.
And we said no baths, no showers, no cooking.
I mean, I will tell you what, parents talk about the freedom that comes with different stages.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the first time you have the freedom. I mean, obviously sleeping through the night as a baby is important.
Amazing.
But I'm talking daytime. When your baby can sit up, not crawl.
Not crawl yet.
But just sit there.
5 to 7 months old when they're just sitting and not crawling.
And you could put some toys around them.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good phase.
That's the best. That's my favorite phase because
so.
They're not mobile yet, but they're smiling and cooing and kind of babbling. Oh, I love 5 to 7 months.
So good.
Such a sweet spot.
They're
sleeping and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, they're sleeping.
And they're still taking 2 naps a day, if not 3.
But
they're taking their morning, their afternoon, and their little cat nap.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good age.
To ward off the witching hour.
You got it.
But then they start to move, and that can be hard. But then, you guys, comes when they can tie their own shoes.
Buckle their own seatbelts.
When they can buckle themselves into the seat belt.
That's a good time.
These are the things.
Monumental.
That I don't think anybody really tells you. And then once you're in it and you realize it, it's like, whoa, this is a game changer.
When they can tie their own shoes, buckle their own seatbelt, start to give themselves a bath. That's a big one too.
Yes.
That one's really good.
Where they can be in the bath and you can kind of walk away and just be folding laundry and just sort of be nearby.
Making their own lunches, game changer. Y'all aren't there yet.
We're not there.
No.
By choice.
By choice, exactly. But there's some amazing steps along the way.
Definitely being able to leave them. I mean, that's still pretty new-ish for us. I mean, Tinsley's going to be 13 coming up. So for a couple of years, we've been able to step away. We've never left them overnight alone.
That took us until 15 and 17, I think.
I'd say solid teenagers. But for us to be able to step away for whatever reason for a couple of hours is life-changing.
You know what it took us? Bella getting her license. Because then we knew if something happened, she could drive them to the hospital.
Okay, that's a good point.
That was our threshold of leaving them overnight for something was when Bella could drive.
That feels right.
Yeah.
And I think Tinsley especially would have to get to that feeling comfortable with that at that age because certainly not right now. She's just going to be more timid about oh, what if something happens in the night?
Yeah.
But as we all know, my kids can just push the blue police button and the police will show up.
We do know that. Thank you, Tristan.
Thank you, Tristan, for letting us know.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it was a great test. And thank you, CMPD, for showing up at my home right after my shower.
Yes. Was it CMPD or Matthews?
I think it was CMPD.
Oh, okay. Got it. I wasn't sure who comes to you because you're right there on the edge.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge of Charlotte.
I'm in the shower right now.
I'm dripping wet to answer the door. Okay, we'll stop. Y'all have already heard this story. Stop us if you've heard this one.
Oh, God.
We're going to have to start saying
I know, we really are. Sorry, you guys, but
many.
we get new listeners, and they don't know all the stories.
They don't.
But I do like hearing from people that say they've gone back and listened.
Yes.
Isn't that nice?
If someone's recently joined and then was like, okay, I like that so much, but it sounds like this is an inside joke I'm not a part of. And then they say, you know what? I've listened to 5 random ones. I've liked it enough that I've gone back to the beginning and just started. That is probably the highest compliment we can get, don't you think?
That is our highest praise for you guys to say, I've gone back and I've started from the beginning, just like Hillary Duff said. Let's go back to the beginning. And you will be rewarded for that because now you get all the things.
Speaking of Hillary Duff, we deep dived her husband recently. It was the husband.
I did not know her husband was so funny.
So funny.
Good for you, Hillary Duff, for landing a funny guy.
He had a vasectomy and he was hopped up on Valium and he decided to DM all the Love is Blind people after binging it while high. It is so funny. It is so funny.
Did he save those stories? I hope he did.
Yeah, I think that they're well, I'd have to look and see. They were saved, put on his I think that they might be on his feed.
I think you're right.
And then you can swipe through them.
Yeah, you can see what his DMs are with the Love is Blind people.
Is it Matthew Conan? Something with a
I
K?
had never even heard this man's name.
Me neither, but apparently he's like a singer of a band, but not a band that's like maybe selling out stadiums, but you don't have to when you're cashing Lizzie McGuire checks.
Oh my gosh. Let's go back to the beginning.
Obviously. And let's go back to my night the other night where I met some Love is Blind people.
Okay.
Should we tell the story?
Tell this right now.
Right now?
I mean, I want to hear it.
Immediately?
Yes.
Okay. Because I haven't even told Kristen
all I know is I saw the picture. I said, OMG, where were you? And all I know is where you were, but I don't know how this came to be.
How it came to be is this, you guys. So, my partnership with the Blumenthal, we had tickets to Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge is the host.
Which, by the way, my God.
You said it's your new number one.
I think it might be number one.
And I had shivers when you said that.
I know, because you'll know how seriously I take Hamilton.
Yes.
You know how seriously I take Wicked. You know how seriously I take Aladdin on Broadway. On the Broadway. 6. Love 6. I mean, I love a lot of Broadway shows.
I'm shaking, physically shaking.
I know. But when we are talking drama, when we are talking romance, when we are talking I'm crying, when we're talking comedy and I am laughing so hard.
Chills.
We are talking music.
Yes.
Fire music.
Music.
So Moulin Rouge is a jukebox musical. For those who don't know the term, it means that they are sampling songs that we know throughout millennia. Millennia might be too long. Maybe the 70s, 80s, 90s, early aughts.
Decades. Early aughts.
As you always say.
Yeah, as I always say, the early aughts. Now, okay, let me ask this real quick because some of them might be wondering, because I'm wondering, and we're the same. Is this, I've seen the movie.
Okay, I've never.
Okay, so that's what I want to know.
But in the movie, they are singing old songs, right?
Like Elton John, for example.
Okay.
That's one of the songs that's kind of woven into the musical.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, how closely does the Broadway show follow what the movie was like? Because I love that movie.
Well, that's what a lot of people have said to me is like, I can't believe you've never seen the movie. And it's just one of those things. We've discussed this, you guys. Like, there's huge gaps of my life where apparently I was not going to the cinema or renting the VHS.
But when that came out, you would have been in college. So I don't really.
To the movies?
No, because I remember watching it in my boyfriend's basement in high school and watching it over and over again and singing the songs and just living, laughing, loving, crying.
and I was not hugely into like Lady Marmalade or that song. It's super annoying to me. So I wasn't digging the Moulin Rouge.
That song's annoying to you? I love that song.
It's so annoying to me.
No, well, we're adding it to the playlist.
It's so breathy. I can't stand that. I don't like it. I don't want it in my ears.
I love Lady Marmalade.
God, stop.
I'm dying.
So when they open with that, I'm like, oh God, is this song throughout the whole? But
wait, so it opened with that?
I believe so. I believe it opens with Lady Marmalade.
Oh my!
And can and all this stuff.
Well, can.
Yeah. And you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's all these old songs that we know and love.
Yeah.
In it, and it kind of makes you giggle because you're like, oh, what's the next one gonna be?
Yes, I know, I love it.
So they're walking, when she's like, I don't know, I'm on the edge of love, or whatever. It's just so funny, and the whole time you're giggling. Of course, they still have their original songs in there too, which are great. Yeah. But they're updating it as it goes. So like Adele's Rolling in the Deep was a part of it.
Oh.
Yes. So they're finding current songs that also match up perfectly. So it's constantly evolving.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That my brain, I am that emoji with the brain exploding.
So
I really like that a lot. Because I mean, if the soundtrack came on right this moment,
Yes.
I could sing the whole daggum thing as it is from the movie.
okay.
But what you're saying is they update it as the decades
Some
roll
of them
on.
apparently are always in there, and some of them are new and updated as you go to just keep it fresh.
In the name of love.
I don't recall it.
One night in the name of love.
Don't recall it being in there. Don't recall it, but there are other ones that you will love. We are going to get Student Rush tickets and go again because it's that good.
When are y'all going to try to go?
Well, let's try to do it because I want you to see it.
I think I do need to go.
No, you absolutely need to go. I was so blown away.
Okay,
So
I'm
it's
excited.
so emotional. So emotional. I mean, the end of
The
it.
end. Whoo!
My God, my God.
Yep.
I was like this. I was holding my own chest. My hands were over my heart because my heart felt like it was beating out of my chest. I was sobbing. I was sobbing so hard. I was going like this. The person in front of me, the average age of 103, by the way, this couple, I know that they were like, are you okay? Do you need my oxygen? What is happening behind us?
I can't.
I was, and we had a great audience. And with Moulin Rouge.
Oh, you had a good audience.
With Moulin Rouge, you are encouraged to kind of interact and shout and hoot and holler with them.
Oh, I love
so
that.
They are slaying. You
love
are
that.
going, woo! And you are encouraged to do that. And how do I know this? Because we went to the stage door afterwards and we talked to all of the people and we got all the signatures and did all the things.
Yes.
And I was like, was the crowd, like we were vibing the crowd. They were like, we love it when the crowd gives back to us.
I bet they love it so much.
Don't just wait till the end to clap. If he's hitting the note, if Christian is hitting the note,
Christian.
then you better go, woo!
Yes.
Christian.
I love that name.
Oh my God.
If I had another boy, Christian was on the list.
Christian was it?
But my name is Kristen. And I do have a Tristan.
Yeah, and that's true. You could not have gone with Christian.
So it felt like a little bit too ego
Yeah.
for me.
Well, keep in mind, my father is originally John Thomas, goes by Jack. He named his son John and his daughter Jackie. Jacqueline.
Well, then I don't feel so bad.
I'm just saying, Jack, you know you did. And I'm Miranda. No family.
John and Jackie, and then random old Miranda here. Not Mira.
But I love my name.
You do love Miranda.
I do love Miranda. So no knock on them. They hit it out of the park with me. But I'm just saying, like, it took me, I realized this only a few years ago. Again, stop me if you've heard it. But I only realized it a couple years ago, which was like kind of a dumb moment. Like when we talk about dumb moments, here I am. I'm admitting it. I said, oh, John, which is your real name, and Jackie.
And Jackie.
You're Jack. Okay.
Wow.
I see you, Jack Thomas.
Okay, but you and I.
And Jackie's Jacqueline Marie, and my mom is Mary, so it's Jack and Mary.
Jackie Marie. I did not know that.
Yeah, Jacqueline Marie, so Jack Mary.
Well, at least you're Catherine.
And then John, my brother,
For our future queen.
That's true. And again,
Miranda Catherine Mel. I mean, y'all.
Miranda Catherine, can you find a better name?
I mean, there's not a better name for her.
Thank
Come
you
on.
so much.
Yeah.
And then John is John Charles. So John after my dad, and then my grandpa is John Charles. So very family names.
You just got no family.
Yeah, I just got.
Where's the family?
Why didn't we talk about this? We were talking
We've
about
never talked about this.
the family names. We were just discussing like the violet and everything.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so.
But
Back to Moulin Rouge.
I was going to say real quick.
Oh, yeah.
You and I have both always loved the name Sebastian.
Sebastian's a great name. And you can call it, and some people call him Bash.
Bash. I always said that was at the top of my list. I liked
good one.
Christian, but then I said Sebastian would go with Tristan and Lachlan.
It does
and
go
then we
with
would
that.
call them Bash.
Bash.
Okay.
And they're always rough and tumble.
Yeah.
The little bashes.
Little bash.
You know, they've just got that extra bit of like gumption.
Little baby Bash.
We love it.
Okay. So someone can take that if they want, because I'm in menopause, so I'm not having more children.
And we could have, for your baby shower, called it a baby bash. Oh! And that's a party. Bash is another name for a party.
Ready to rumble, baby Bash.
Baby bash. But bash is a party.
Someone's going to take this
perfect.
idea, and I'm thrilled to
If
take
you
it.
do, please use it. Tag us. And just make sure that you give us 10% if Bash becomes a huge star. Because it's kind of like we're his momager. You know it. We know it.
Our retirement plan is some random listener's fictional son growing up to become a huge star.
Just work us into whatever that is. And this is on the record, so I think that it counts in a court of law. That's what I'm saying.
I'm dying. Okay, Take us back to the beginning.
So Christian was incredible. That's the title. So Christian was incredible. We met him at stage door. I said, honey, how old are you?
Yeah. How old was he young?
22. A baby.
Oh,
Speaking of a baby.
A baby Christian.
Baby Christian was 22 years old. I said, you are so freaking talented. How you commanded that stage. Christian is a hard role to play.
Yes, it is.
The amount of singing he has to do, he has to be a romantic lead.
Yes.
And you are carrying, he hardly ever leaves the stage.
But
because
also being so emo. Like you're having to have all the super high highs, but a lot of lows.
he nailed it.
Aww.
This guy was so good. And I said, you're 22. Wow. Good.
Living the dream.
Live laughing and loving the dream. So it was great. We went, we talked to everybody, congratulated them. And what else was I going to? It's just so good. So there's all these emotions. You're laughing and you're crying.
Yes.
And you're singing all the songs along with them. And it has everything that you want in a perfect musical.
How, when you're watching these shows with Lily, because I know Lily goes with you a lot, how is she at a show? I know she gets into them, but obviously you're more emoting.
Yeah, she's very chill. She's watching. Now, she's big eyes, lots of expressions. I tried to take a picture of her during Roxanne. Is Roxanne in the movie?
Yes, Roxanne is in the movie.
Okay. Woo! Y'all, Roxanne on stage. Oh, my God. With all the red lights.
Yes, the red lights and the feathers and the things. What about Like a Virgin? Like a Virgin. Was that in it?
Don't recall it.
Okay, I got to see this. I got to know.
I don't recall if Like a Virgin was in there. Lily would be yelling at me. But I was so... I remember getting to the end of the first half and turning around. So Stephanie and Christina were behind me.
Yes, yes.
And I remember turning around and being like, am I alive? Like, is this, I feel like I have been just taken on an hour and 10-minute journey that I was not expecting. I was not prepared for this. I've never seen the movie. I've never listened to the soundtrack. I came in totally blind to this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if this is what this, I get a whole nother half of this?
Yes.
A whole nother half of this? Listen, I go to a lot of shows and I watch a lot of them. And maybe the first time I felt this way for a lot of them, not all of them. Not all of them.
That's true. I've heard.
And not all of them.
I know.
But for some
what you're describing to me is how I felt with Hamilton.
Absolutely. I felt that way with Hamilton too.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just spoiled because I've seen Hamilton several times,
That's
not
true.
only in the theater,
Yeah.
but also it's on Disney Plus, so I watch it a lot. I also have memorized the entire soundtrack. So maybe it's just like Hamilton's a familiar friend.
Yes.
And Moulin Rouge is the mistress.
Make new friends, but keep the old.
One is silver.
So Hamilton is gold, but we're saying Moulin Rouge is silver because it's the newer thing.
And it's just like that saucy mistress. That's exciting. It's exciting because it's new. And I just discovered it. And I am so delighted by this show. They were amazing. One of the people at stage door afterwards, the head dancer.
Yeah.
So the lead dancer who has like the scene with the matador guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I know exactly.
So when she has that very slow, and they're like really working for it.
Yes.
So she was incredible. And when she came to stage door, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love your hair." I said, "Oh, thank you so much." She goes, "Who cuts it?" I said, "Mirabom cuts it." She goes, "Do you think she could get me an appointment while I'm here? I'm desperate for a haircut." I said, "Well, let me write her for you." I got her information. Bing, bang, boom. Got her an appointment.
No way.
Sure did. And then she was like, "I'm vegan. Any good vegan places?" I was able to tell her all of those. And then she was like, "I'm a runner. Where should I run?" I said, "Oh, my husband will run with you. He's a marathoner." She was like, "So am I." I said, "Great. If you want me to line up a running day for y'all can go on the light rail and run, and he can take you all around."
This lady.
She was wonderful.
Don't you like when you meet someone new and you just really click with them?
Really clicked with her.
It doesn't happen with everybody because not everybody's going to like everybody.
Yeah, sure.
But certain people you meet and then you walk away from them, you're like, I really liked that person.
I really liked her. I invited her to Hilliard. I said, "Come work out with me. First one's free. Use code Miranda." I mean, what more do you want?
Always be closing.
I said, "You met the mayor.
It's true. Mayor Miranda.
Mayor Miranda's here for you. I'm gonna show you a good time." I want everybody when they come here, I want them to see the best of Charlotte because not all of it's the best.
Yeah. I mean, Charlotte, we know that, but she could check out the Bob Awards because that is the best of the best.
Yeah, that is the best of the best. I searched the other day. I'm like, oh, have they released them yet? They don't come out until May.
It's May.
I need to sit and
I
just
know.
be a little bit more patient.
Yeah.
Some people could have done that with Kate and Easter. Similar idea. similar idea. So I stopped looking. I stopped searching to see if it's been announced early.
Good.
And I've just put it in its box.
Good. And you
it's
put it
away.
on the shelf.
It's up there.
And it's here with our trophy.
Yeah.
And we'll put
wait.
our real trophy next to that fake
We'll
one.
wait with Kate. Okay. So
how did you meet them?
So
Were they-
Love is Blind is what we started with.
That's where we started.
And we're going to come back to it.
Back to the beginning.
So Lily and I are a little, we're hustling to get uptown. We had been invited to, so Blumenthal also will do some pre-party events for certain shows.
Fun.
And I had gotten, or a bash, a pre-bash.
A bash, a party.
Someone would call it a
soiree.
pre-bash. So they had invited it. I had gotten it in the email at Sophia's Lounge.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I love that place.
I know you do. You hosted for my
your
birthday.
Yes.
So Sophia's Lounge was going to do a pre-party for Moulin Rouge, and but Lily had a huge paper due.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, if we can get there beforehand, great. If we don't, we'll just go straight to the show by 7:30. So we are pulling up hot into Uptown at like 7:03.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, show starts at 7:30, and I am not one to be late.
No, not to the theater.
I will be in my seat for an opening number.
Yes.
Know that.
Yes, you will.
Okay.
Because that is first impressions.
It is.
That's setting the tone.
It is, and I don't want to do that to the people around me.
I
I don't want to have
know.
to make people stand up and shuffle and all that.
Agree.
Just get to the theater. Give yourself plenty of time.
Yeah.
And again, we're pulling up to Uptown at 7:03, so there's plenty of time to get to the theater. But I'm just like, oh, well, Sophia's Lounge is right there. Like, maybe we could scoot over there for just a little bit of time. And Lily's like, no, Mom, we've got to get to our seats. At this exact moment, I have parked. I also was a little bit like, is this parking space a little questionable? But luckily, a parking guy was driving by. I waved at him. I said, am I good here? He was like, you're good. So
Okay,
we moved
great.
on. I know. It's nice. It was very nice of you, parking person.
Yeah.
And so we lock, we hop up. We are starting to book it. I get a text from Stephanie, Olive Tate.
Ooh.
Olive Tate, Stephanie, she goes, Christina would like me to know where you are. Love is Blind is at Sophia's Lounge.
Oh.
For the Moulin
And
Rouge
so you
pre-party.
took a 90-degree turn.
I said, Lily,
We got to go.
I know it's very important to you, and obviously promptness at the theater is very important to me.
Yes.
But what is also important is this here podcast. And
Thank
we've been
you.
trying to land
Thank
these
you.
interviews for a very long time, very long as in like 2 weeks. And I have emailed the publicist. I have DM'd these people. Kristen's sitting outside of Chelsea's apartment at Optimist Hall.
Knocking on the window.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what more do we have to do?
Let
No
me
one's
in.
writing me back. So it is what it. We've made the reel. We've gone to Carowinds. We sat at the table for Christ's sake.
We were in Terminal A.
What more do you want?
I die.
So I said, Lily, I'm pulling rank here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a mom move for
It's
sure.
a mom move. I am going. I said, I can send you the mobile ticket and you are more than welcome
That's
to go
true.
sit down if this is going to stress you out.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'll go with you. So I am running up Tryon.
Yes.
Running up Tryon because I have parked beyond where, oh my gosh, the river was in the title. It was like a pub right on the corner.
I know exactly.
I don't know.
I know exactly.
Anyway, I'm there. We need to get 2.5 blocks, 3.5 blocks, and we are running up Tryon. And then I'm going to cut over to Sophia's Lounge because Stephanie has robo-texted me. Christina's disappointed. I haven't watched the show yet, so I don't know who any of these people are. She wants you here. Where are you? Where are you? And so I'm like, okay, I'm getting there. Carolina Charm, by the way, is Christina, y'all.
Yes. So sweet.
So I'm running. We cut across. We get in there, and I'm like, hey, I'm here. Sweating. Okay, where are they? And I see Amy and Johnny. See them from right here to right there. I'm like, okay.
You can't miss them, I feel like.
Laser focus, but it's so dark in there.
It is very dark and
So dark in there.
Yeah.
But I spotted them, and people were, of course, around them. Amy was trying to sit down and eat, so I didn't want to walk over to her.
Okay.
Johnny was standing up and talking to some other people. So I just did the hover.
Yeah, you just hovered around.
Just kind of hovered around.
But you are hard to miss.
I am hard to miss, but it was dark. I don't even think that they could tell I had purple hair, and that's
Oh.
usually my in.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I know, because then people look and then they're confused, but
Yeah.
then they decide that they like it on me.
Yes.
I am just one of those people. Sorry, humble brag, but colored hair doesn't work for everyone, and some people have preconceived notions about people with fashion color hair.
Yes, they do.
And I get that. I do. But
But you are breaking down those barriers.
I'm trying to break stereotypes,
Yeah.
break down barriers, and I'm trying to say, come over here to the purple side. And I track them in, just
And they like it. And then a lot of times people will begin to say, I've thought about doing a fashion color. How much maintenance?
it's just a great icebreaker.
It really is a conversation starter.
It is.
I've seen this hundreds of times.
Literally. But they do it with your red hair too.
They do. Or something I have on, something outlandish.
Yeah, something outlandish that you have on, which we love. So I see them. I'm just doing the simple hover. And the time is ticking. And every time I look over at Lily, who has just parked it on the couch, I just can feel her eyes.
Oh,
I can feel her eyes on me. And I know that I have 6 minutes probably to get time with them, to talk to them, to land an interview.
Oh, God. Okay.
And they are busy. But I finally get my in because they stand up.
Okay.
Amy stands up. She kind of rejoins Johnny. And I just poke my head in and I say, I'm so sorry to bother you. I certainly didn't want to mess with you while you were eating. But could I get a picture with y'all real quick? Because I knew if I got a picture, I could chat.
Yes.
And they said, yeah, we're actually moving over here to take a few photos. So just follow us.
Okay.
Great.
Yes.
So I go over there, and Stephanie and Christina are videoing, taking pictures of this whole interaction.
Oh, nice.
I know, which is really sweet. So I'll show them to you, and we'll post them on here. I've just been waiting.
Okay.
But so I walk up to them, and I'm just like, hey, you guys, congratulations. Love the show.
Yes.
Always loved you two together.
Yes.
I love your story. You seem so sweet, like
Yes.
genuinely sweet.
From the jump.
Mm-hmm.
We liked both of them. And we liked them in the pods. We
Yep.
liked them when they met.
Yep.
And
Their families, like
henceforth.
everything
Oh,
about
the
them.
families.
They've just been always so sweet to each other.
Yeah.
And so I'm, of course, complimenting them on that. And then I decide to say, and by the way, I have emailed your publicist to potentially get you for an interview on my podcast that I run with my best friend, Kristen. But I haven't heard back. And she was just like, you haven't? I'm like, no, I haven't heard back. And I said, but it hasn't been that long. It's been like maybe a week or whatever. And she was just like, okay, well, if you haven't heard back in a couple more days, just DM me. And I was like, okay, I will. I'll slide into those DMs. And then I said some other things that I can't remember right this second, but I'm sure I thoroughly embarrassed myself. I didn't bring up the vasectomy as birth control.
Okay.
I didn't do as like a temporary form of birth control.
We could maybe save that for the interview.
Yeah, and I do want to say that. I didn't want to blow my whole...
Not your load.
Speaking of vasectomies, I don't want to blow my whole load. Oh, my God.
You never know what is in the brain. It's going to just roll off the tongue.
Nope. That's the one for now. That's the one I went with. Was I didn't want to blow my whole load right after mentioning vasectomy. It's on the brain. And so I can't remember. I'll go back. We'll share the videos, but I just remember looking over at Stephanie and her shaking her head and like putting her head in her hands, and Christina was laughing the whole time.
I want to know. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love good
I can't quite remember, but I do know that I'm sure I said, oh, I think it was like, and the way that we got your publicist's information is my best friend said that she knows where Chelsea lives at Optimus Hall, so she would just sit out there. And so Chelsea DM'd us and was like, you really don't need to do that. I'll just agree to the interview. Here's my publicist's name and email. And by the way, she's Johnny and Amy's too. And she was just like, that's sweet.
No.
She's like, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's sweet. And so,
But then it's like,
yeah.
so creepy.
I don't know why I led with that because it just makes it sound even crazier. But whatever. She said, just slide into those DMs. I did end up posting the picture and tagging them. And she was like, it was so nice to meet you.
Okay, good.
So we've already established.
Okay, so the
established.
digital footprint is there with them.
It's there. I'm going to give it a couple more days. I'll follow back up with the publicist. And then I'll slide into the DMs and see what we can make happen. But we also have been connected to Brittany from Love is Blind, so we're working that.
Yes.
We're trying to bring them, you guys. We are doing our best. Just know that.
Oh my gosh. And I haven't talked to you about this, but what better time than now?
Okay.
What do you think that we try to interview these folks here? Or do we go somewhere?
To Carowinds?
We could go to Carowinds.
To Terminal 9?
We bring just some equipment somewhere. There are also like podcasting studios around town that you can rent
Yeah, we
by
could.
the hour.
We could.
Okay. I just wanted to float that out there.
Or maybe just a motel room by the hour.
Ooh. The Dunhill.
Oh, the Dunhill is nice. That's a nice
That's
one.
where you got your massage.
Mm-hmm. Y'all know the story.
Yeah.
We won't do that to the Love is Blind people. If you are listening, don't worry about that. We are not as weird as we're coming across these last 5 minutes. We are, actually.
We are.
But you don't have to be nervous weird. Like, it's a giggle weird.
Yeah. You guy. Okay.
tell
Speaking of the Carowinds, there were 2 things, we gave our Carowinds recap. 2 things we forgot to mention. 1, somebody crop dusted the VIP row. Okay. So
Oh yeah, where was that?
we were going through the line where like we had the express passes.
Oh, yes.
And someone had crop dusted the express lane.
Don't do that. But this is reminiscent of the person who
does
crop
it
dusts first class.
First class. Someone's crop dusting first class, and maybe they heard our podcast, and then they crop dusted us in the express lane. And I just want to say that's gross.
Don't do that.
And don't do that.
Don't do that.
But then after that happened, you were trying to show off your tan ankle.
We forgot to talk. About that. Every part of my body was covered because it was cold. So I was wearing full-length leggings, my sweatshirt, tennis shoes, and socks. And I was disappointed because I had this great spray tan from Sarah.
She was like, I'm still tan. So she showed 2 inches of her ankle. She kept trying. Y'all, she would hike
Hold on.
She would hike her foot up on like a railing and just be like trying to be casual with her foot on the railing. I'm like, you are trying to show people that you're tan.
I'm so tan and no one could tell.
It was raining.
It's just, you know how much work it is to get a spray tan and to get it to last.
I know it.
And to get it to just be seen. Like that's important. It's important. And my ankles were the only things that I could show to prove how great the spray tan was and how great it was just lasting. So yeah, we took a picture. I was just like, look at these. I mean, thin neck, thin ankles.
I mean, you have thin wrists.
Thin
ankles.
Yeah.
Well, everything is thin now, but we're just saying it's always been very thin.
Not everything.
Yeah, no, it is.
You know my stomach is not
Oh
thin.
but it is thin. You just have skin.
It's
you have
more
thin
than skin. Oh, I sometimes do. Sometimes I do have thin skin. I know I come off as a baddie. Thank you. But every once in a while, yeah, I can have thin skin about some things. And I'm working on that.
You think that you do? I mean, you're a confident lady. It's all about confident, baby.
I love that song.
It's a great song. It's on my playlist. We'll add it.
Song. I really like that. I'm trying to think of what I have thin skin about. Well, I just remember recently posting a meme that said, "Oh, I'm sorry. When I was asking for feedback, I meant compliments." And I'm like, that is me. I don't love a ton of feedback. Mostly.
I don't either.
But you know what I like to say about that? I think it's because I'm already criticizing myself enough.
Yeah.
Like I have enough self-awareness that I'm like, that wasn't it. Or you could have done better there.
Correct.
I listen back to these episodes and am so disappointed.
Yeah. When you miss a joke?
When I miss a joke.
I do it too. I'm like, man, I have a great joke for that. I wish I could just insert that.
I would.
It happens to me all the time.
It happens all the time.
It's like, why wasn't my brain connecting that super hilarious joke I could have told?
I know. It really bums me out. I listen back through with a fine tooth comb.
We do. It's for research.
Maybe that's where my thin skin, and that's what I'm associating with it. It's just like, I'm being very, well, no, that's not. I do know I have thin skin about something, but now I can't think of what that is.
Next time that it happens to you,
I'm going to bring it.
And it will. Just write it down. Send it to me in a text so that I know that I can bring up your insecurities on this podcast.
Maybe it's when people tell me what not to do.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Matt, if he were here, would say, Kristen absolutely can't stand it when I tell her what to do, even if it was the thing I was going to do.
Yeah, something about that really rubs me the
I
wrong way.
do not like it.
I can have thin skin about that for sure. I mean, someone was like, don't talk about the Kate thing right away. When I said, well, we might be going live about Kate because there's just so much to say. And she was like, I don't think that that's a good idea. And I'm thinking,
who said it? Who said it?
Oh, it wasn't a question.
That was you in the DMs. It wasn't a question. It was a statement.
I don't think that I don't think there was a question mark.
No.
I was like, it didn't say should we?
It didn't say should we. It said we are.
Yeah, we are. And so I don't know. There was just something about. I'm like, that I can have thin skin about. Like, don't. Yeah, I get that. Don't tell me.
We do sometimes get feedback on the pod, and I will say I do like some feedback that feels
constructive,
very constructive. Like it's coming from a place where like, hey, ladies, this will super duper help if you do XYZ thing. I like that because you're looking out for us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the person that had messaged us about like when to post our reels and to get the most engagement. I liked that a lot, and I've taken that to heart. But we've also gotten feedback that makes no sense.
Or like isn't even possible right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can feel like, Or
It's just a 1.5 woman show. This is the set. This is what we've got. It's the peel and stick wallpaper from Lowe's.
yeah, it's my dirty tissue.
It's a dirty DNA tissue back here. It's one singular candle.
It is what it is.
I didn't turn the candle on. Okay, the candle's on.
This candle is now our vigil for Kate and her diagnosis. And it will stay lit.
I like that.
Until she says, I'm good.
I like that a lot.
I'm good to go, you guys.
I think she's going to be fine.
I do too.
We didn't quite say that on the live that we did, but I feel good that they went in, they found a little something, and they said, it sounds almost like this is precancerous. And so let's just give it a little zip, zap, zop and wipe it out.
Okay.
So I think she's going to be A-okay. We know she has the best doctors in the world taking care of her.
Yeah, she does.
And,
yeah, she does.
And honestly, I'll say this too. If they went in for whatever the bowel situation was and this was unrelated, thank God they went in.
Yes, exactly.
Because whatever this is could have just been festering in there.
Yes, yes, yes.
So maybe that is Angel Princess Diana coming through.
Guardian Angel Diana. She's always there.
Yeah.
She's always there. She has not failed us yet.
Yes. So I feel, hopefully you guys listened to the Kate that we released last week.
Yeah.
But
hopefully you did. Really go back if you didn't. And especially if you're just wanting to chit chat with us about, obviously you can't like give feedback, but we went live so people could. So it could be a conversation back and forth.
Yes.
With everybody. And then, we came hard for some accounts on it.
We did.
We came hard for some accounts, but we feel like they needed that.
It was deserved.
It was deserved. And we'll just see what happens from here. Watch what happens live, obviously.
Yeah. Go to BravoTV.com for more information. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Oh, Joshua says he will take Lily. So that is
babe.
Live
live update.
Parenting update for you all. That Lily's going to be okay. She's going to be all right.
My phone is recording our video, so anytime someone needs me while this happens, I'm just like, text Kristen and she'll tell me. But that's what a sidekick does.
I'm a sidekick through and through. I am a faithful. I am Robin to your Batman. And you know what I used to say? I'm the P. Diddy to your Biggie, but I don't want to be P. Diddy.
You don't want to do that anymore. I always was like, she's the Robin to my Howard, but I think you say way crazier stuff.
Yeah, I do.
I say more embarrassing stuff.
So Howard's the more crazy one?
Yeah, think of Howard Stern.
Yeah, because Robin's very level-headed.
Yeah, he's saying whatever literally comes to his mind, and so are you. And you
so
will push the envelope.
Yeah.
And you'll go there.
I for sure will.
And then I'm just behind the booth. Her last name's Quivers. I'm quivering.
Miranda Quivers.
I'm Miranda Quivers. You're the Howard. Our advertising kit's a lie because I've used both of those and now I have to flip-flop them. I got to switch them around.
You got to flip-flop them.
It literally says she's the Robin. It says she's the Robin to my Batman and the Robin to my Howard.
You are Miranda Quivers.
I'm Miranda Quivers.
And I am Kristen Stern.
You know it. You are Stern.
I'm Stern.
Oh my God.
I am. Know that.
Mind-blowing. Did you write him back?
I did not. Should I say that? I'll give it a thumbs up.
Okay, give it a thumbs up. He loves a thumbs up. It's his
does.
favorite emoji.
He does.
He does it to everything.
Okay, listen. We mentioned this earlier about like embarrassing things we didn't realize or hadn't learned till later in life. I have one. I came up with one.
Okay, tell me. What?
I just discovered this last week, and you guys.
Does it have to do with your parents naming your siblings?
No. No. But there were enough comments on it from other people saying, I didn't know this either, that I felt a little bit better. But then I mentioned it to Matt and he looked at me sideways like, you didn't know?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, this is going to sound so dumb. I didn't know that dandelions, that the yellow dandelion becomes the poofy dandelion.
Yeah, if it's not picked or mowed down or whatever, like it continues to grow into that. Because you blow it. So when you were blowing a dandelion, you never thought that it started as a dandelion. Like, right?
I thought a
curious.
yellow dandelion
is a yellow dandelion.
And the poofy dandelion is its own dandelion.
Oh, you thought that these were two different dandelions, but with the same name.
Y'all, I ran across a video of a yellow dandelion, and then it closes up, and then it reopened as the white. And when I tell you, there were no, again, I'm the mind blown emoji. I could not believe it.
You couldn't.
And I ran. I broke my ankle. Run into the comments Opened it up, and sure enough, most people were like, "What? Huh? I never knew." And so I know
you felt justified.
I know I'm not the only dummy, but I thought I can admit this on the record.
Yes,
that this is a thing.
Good.
That I was a dummy about.
That's important.
Okay? So I do want to find out. I do want to find out if any other podcasts. Maybe I'm breaking news here. Add all that to say, I don't know. But I also was calling both of them dandelion.
Right.
So, monkey see, monkey do, monkey pee all over you. Don't ever do that with the yellow ones. You take...
Are we still talking about dandelions with the monkey see, monkey do?
Yes, so you take the yellow one and you to a friend and you go, monkey see, monkey do.
It's not a yellow one. It's just yellow.
It's the yellow dandelion.
It's just a dandelion.
It's the yellow one.
It's the early stages.
It's the prepubescent dandelion. It's the...
Before it grows its hair.
Yes. Okay, so it's prepubescent. Obviously, there's a name for it.
Yeah.
What are they? Botanists.
Botanists will know.
Reach out.
Yeah.
But you take the yellow. Show your kids this. They'll be impressed.
Okay.
Flip it on the back of their hand and you rub it and you sing or you rhyme. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey pee all over you.
And it's yellow.
And then it's yellow on their hand and they'll get a good giggle out of that.
Okay, I've never done that. I've never heard that. I've never been a part of it. I don't know if that's just a part of my childhood I completely skipped over along with watching Moulin Rouge.
Yes, it is.
But it's not that for me, and I'm going to, hopefully make you feel better. It's not that I knew exactly how a dandelion developed.
Okay.
But I just assumed that this dandelion and this dandelion are the same thing.
Two became one somehow.
To become one, I need your love like I never needed love before. Love Spice Girls, one of my favorite songs.
That's on our podcast.
It is.
Playlist.
It's already on there. So what was but I knew that they were the same weed. I knew that they were the same weed, but I guess I didn't know that it went like this and like this. I just assumed that they are at different stages of their lives.
Yeah. So you thought maybe like the petals fall off or whatever. This was a time-lapsed video. So the yellows.
So it's like this.
It's like this. It's happy for many days.
Okay.
And then it closed up, much like a butterfly.
Chrysalising.
And then it opened back up and it was the poof.
Okay, cool. I've never, when I see them in a field.
Can you even?
Well, no.
Because they're always side by side in the field.
Right. So when you're in a field and you're seeing it, I go, oh, that's all dandelion. But I didn't, did I know it went like this and then open back up? But I definitely did still assume that it's the same exact weed, just at different stages of its life.
You guy.
You didn't.
This is all new to me. I just called them both dandelion.
Got it. Okay. I do want to see this video. Did you save it?
I think I can find it. It might have been on the Today Years Old page.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
But I did, as I was on a walk the other day, walked by a patch of them, yellow, poofs, all stages and phases, and I took some pictures of that. And then I said to Matt, did you know? And he was like, I married an idiot. No, Matt would never say that, but
he wouldn't.
The look was in his eye.
But you could tell.
You could
tell he was disappointed in you, and that's enough. That's enough to send quivers.
Quivers in my loins. I've got to say this, and I've been meaning to DM you or text you, but the fact that you are now cheering and writing so hard for NC State,
Isn't that fun?
Which is my alma mater, is so funny to me. And I'm feeling a little guilty.
That you aren't writing hard enough for them because you totally became a traitor and just started to go for FSU because that's where your husband went.
I became a hardcore Seminole. But I mean, the Wolfpack is still in my blood. I went there. My dad went there. My sister. Like, it's part of us.
You know how I know your sister went there? Because she voice noted me today about it.
She did.
She sure did.
I love
that. With very encouraging words.
She
Sister Lauren.
Yes, she told me what she was going to talk to you about, and I love that.
She's the best.
Yeah.
And
so
doesn't
that make you feel better, what she said?
It definitely makes me feel better. Love, love, love. I mean, it's the first thing I listened to when I woke up this morning after having that dream about Kate, and I just said, my God, my God. Like, I love all these supportive women in my life.
So many supportive women. Mostly supportive women.
Yeah, mostly. Not all those haters.
Not going to say all.
Fine. No, definitely not all. Definitely not all. Not after my before and after post.
No. Oh, okay. So let's you guys, I kind of do want to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk
because
about it.
I did listen to your episode with Morgan.
Well, hold on. Are you going to start being a better NC State fan?
I will start to be a better. I mean, I've got all the gear.
I'm sure you do.
I've got the t-shirts and the sweatshirts. Tinsley wears a NC State sweatshirt every week.
Okay.
So I've got all the gear. I don't know. You guys, like, Florida State consumes all of the sport part of my brain.
It does because it consumes so much of Matt.
Yes.
And he's willing to spend the money
yes.
to go to the games and
Correct.
to spend the money and the tailgates and flying and here, there, and everywhere. And he's so happy to do it for FSU. And so you've just gotten into it, right?
Yeah.
That you just follow right along because, again, you're going to go to a bash.
Yes. And I love the outfits that go for Seminoles.
Of course you do. There's just so much to accessorize.
I can do the fringe moccasins. I can do the feathers.
The turquoise.
I like a garnet and gold. That looks good on me.
Yeah, it does.
So
But NC State is red, ma'am.
Yes, and I do love it NC State red. I really do.
Well, we are very big into it now.
Y'all are, and I love it. It's so
We
sweet.
haven't abandoned our Mountaineers because, of course, Appalachian holds such a special place in our hearts.
Of course.
But, Appalachian lost in the first round and State didn't. So I guess here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
And State's just having such an incredible run right now. It's such an incredible run. This team is special. And I say that as someone who knows no other teams from NC State or any other players.
But this team
is special.
It is.
And let me tell you why.
Yeah,
Let me tell you why it's so cool to watch this team of boys play together.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Because there's a guy, Burns. All right. He's a big boy. He's our center. He's doing very well. Doing very, very well.
Okay.
And sometimes he'll get in foul trouble, and this other guy, Middlebrooks, will come in. Okay. And Middlebrooks played his heart out last night.
Yes.
He had such a great game. And guess what? When they pan over to Burns,
He's cheering. He's cheering
he
him
is
on.
cheering harder for Middlebrooks than Middlebrooks is cheering for himself because he's so proud. He's so proud of him. And that's when you know you have a good team. When those boys they know that they can't play because they're in foul trouble and the person who went in is exceeding expectations.
I love that.
And maybe even doing better than you were going to be doing in there. And you are cheering so hard for them instead of sitting there sulking going, why am I not in?
That's right. This should be my moment.
That's a mindset. That's a
Wow.
mindset that you can't teach
No.
necessarily.
No.
That is how you parent. That is how you pour in. That's how you coach. But some people still never get it.
Wow.
And you know who I'm talking about. Y'all know some of those people on teams and it's just all about them. That is not what I'm saying. I think that this coach has done such a great job with these boys because you look over and they are playing. They are hustling. They are playing defense every single play.
Yes.
And they're dishing the ball out. Yeah, you could take that drive and maybe have the glory, but there's a more obvious way to score and that person should be the one scoring and you're dishing it to them.
I love that.
I love that. Case in point, last night, the game, number 12, can't remember his last name, but he's one of the guards. He didn't have a single point, and usually he scores plenty.
Oh.
He didn't have a single point, but he played every minute in that game. He could have gotten really greedy, right? He could have been like, I'm playing in the NCAA tournament. This is our first game. I haven't scored a single point. I've been in every single minute. And instead, he just kept assisting.
Because that's what was working.
Exactly.
You're in the zone and you
Exactly.
see the bigger picture instead of selfishly focusing on
He has the ball, right? He's the guard. So he's bringing the ball up the court every single
Wow.
play. He could have just run up, pulled up, tried to shoot a three, miss it. He could have done that until he got something just so he could say he scored. He didn't do it not once in the game. He ended up with the game, I believe, with 0 points. But he was important.
Important.
Very important.
Oh
Is my phone
gosh.
ringing? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I don't think so.
I felt a buzzing, so I don't know if that just interrupted our video.
It
over
could
there.
be. That's okay. It's okay. We've already gotten 47 minutes
True.
recorded on your phone.
Okay, true. But anyway, I'm just very impressed. I'm very impressed. So if I'm going to jump into a team and I'm going to be rooting and tuning.
You do go all in.
I do go all in.
Yeah.
Know that.
I will go all in on the outfits. I remember a couple of years ago, we were cheering for Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. And I was very excited because that's a pirate theme. Well,
Obviously.
guess who has a pirate bin in her costume closet?
You do.
Me.
Because you were the pirate fairy.
So I get to do the eye patches and the do-rag. I wore a blonde wig that day. Like, it just delights me to no end to
Yes.
dress up for a theme all day, any day. And when we go to Costa Rica, there will be theme nights.
Of course, there. I assumed. I assumed that it was going to be giving girls trip.
Yeah, we're
Like-
doing theme nights.
Like, sorry.
it's stuck in the craw.
Oh my god. I think don't pirates say that? Is that on
I
brand?
think so. I'm having a pirate state of mind.
This is kind of giving like a net. A net you just cast into the ocean.
Yo ho ho.
Stripes. They're usually in black and white stripes.
Yes, and a bottle of rum.
We seem like we've been drinking rum, I think.
We do.
I think when we go hard in
Yeah.
an hour long before the podcast even begins,
Hell yeah.
yeah, it just warms it up.
Yeah, it warms up. It warms it up, and I like to rage, and it gives me an adrenaline I need to power through.
Well, we're not hopefully going to be raging about NC State basketball because they are on a run.
Yes, I'm so excited.
2 weeks ago, they said, all we need to do is win 11 straight to win the NCAA title. That's all we need. And people laughed. The sportscasters, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, okay, Wolfpack. That's school. That's not UNC
That's
and
right.
Raleigh.
And then they won, what, 5 in a row?
We won 5 in a row to win the ACC tournament. Gave us an automatic bid into the NCAA. We won in round 1 last night.
What was their seed? I meant to ask.
We were seeded 11 or 12.
Okay.
11 or 12. 11, I want to say.
So they were matched up with someone not too.
It was number 6. So
Okay,
we played
great.
a number 6
Great.
team. And now we're going to be playing Oakland, who is like, they upset Kentucky. So hopefully that's really good for us.
That's
too.
good. Yeah, that's good.
But this team's special, and I really could see them going all the way. And that tweet that all we need to do is win 11 straight. I'm like, I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to that
love
tweet.
a story like this,
Yep.
don't we?
Cinderella story.
Like a Cinderella, an underdog.
Let's go.
It just makes for the best.
And everyone loves to root for that too.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a lot of NC State fans coming along. Join this bandwagon. I'm new.
She's new.
I'm new, but I'm ready to drive it.
Yeah, she is driving the bus.
Toot, toot, pull up, pups up. Was pups up a thing when you were there?
No, Pups Up is new, but
Pups
I
Up.
do like Pups Up.
Okay,
It's
Pups
very
Up.
much like Tits Up, and I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Anything.
Mine are not up anymore.
Well, should we talk about your haters?
Yeah, we can talk about the haters.
Okay, so I listened to
So sore.
your podcast with
Morgan Amanda.
which was great.
Love that
You
for
ladies
you.
did a great job.
Great. I appreciate that feedback.
I did.
Only compliments.
Have to only compliments here. I had to laugh when she at the end was like, we all were talking about traders. She was like, oh my God, we play this game called Secret Hitler.
And I was like, can we say that? Do people say that? Are
Y'all.
we saying that?
Okay.
Have you ever played this?
No.
Okay.
As soon as the words came out of her mouth, I know you so well at this point, and I've recorded enough with you that your silence said everything I needed to know. Like, I could see your face being like,
You could feel my butthole clenching.
can we say we're playing a game called Secret Hitler?
And like, who put this out and why isn't it recalled? I just, of all the things we've canceled, of all the things, she's like, no, it's so fun. Like, it's such a good group game to play. I'm like, I don't know about that. And what's the goal? The goal is to be Hitler? What? I'm sorry.
No.
I was like, and this is the end of this episode. Let me out.
I mean, she was like, you could buy it on Amazon. It hasn't been canceled yet. So, I mean, Morgan, I love that you have a game that you love and that you were going to bat for it and saying it's not been canceled. So guess what? If it hasn't been canceled, it hasn't been
But
canceled.
this was me.
Yeah, you were. I could feel it through the speaker on my phone.
I was shivering, quivering.
You were quivering.
I was quivering.
I
Okay.
knew it.
So let's talk about it.
Okay, so you posted your before and after pic.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's interesting? When I liked the dialogue you had on your stories later in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Where people were coming into your DMs and saying, what's so interesting seeing that side by side is that I never saw you as like a bigger girl. And y'all have heard me say that is kind of how my feeling too.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen you so much. I see you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so weird to see it side by side
I
because
know.
I never visualized you like as a bigger girl. You've always just been Miranda and you've always been beautiful no matter your size.
That's very sweet. I think people who see my inner beauty kind of just don't even notice the outer whatever it is.
And I think that's the case for like anybody in my life that I'm close to.
Yes.
I just like their spirit is who I know.
Yeah.
So like Michelle is Michelle and you are you. And
it's going to serve us well in heaven because we're going to know spirits.
That's it. We're going to know
God.
We're going to know the orbs. And so I really understood what those people were saying.
Me too.
Wow, that's so crazy to see it because I never saw you that way.
It's crazy for me to see it too because like I said, like the 1-year-old pictures are where I was my absolute heaviest. I was almost 200 pounds. We've already discussed this. The numbers are the numbers, right? I'm 5'2", almost 200.
Yeah.
It was a lot on my body. It was a lot on my frame. And so I was teetering around that weight and that was the heaviest and it was 1 year ago. And so those are all popping up and it's shocking to see myself like that too because the train agrees.
Conductor agrees.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good honk.
Yeah, it was perfect. So I'm looking at it too in the same way, like, gosh, you see yourself every day. And so it creeps up and you don't really notice it. And sometimes it works the other way around too.
It does.
It's like you go down. Now for me, I know that it took me a long time to gain that. And it's taken me almost a year to lose what I've lost.
Yeah.
And to some people, that still feels very sudden.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I've been doing this for a year. Like it feels like a very long time in my life to be doing it.
If it's someone on the internet who's only popping in on your page once a month, let's say, it could feel sudden to suddenly see that.
And you don't notice someone when you have 70 pounds to say lose. Yeah. The first 30 you don't even really notice.
Well, that's true.
You can't really, it's like, oh, well, something's a little bit different, but maybe it's not necessarily weight. Maybe it's a haircut or a different kind of clothing style or whatever.
Yeah.
Once you start losing 40, 50, then of course it's more obvious. And I also very intentionally had never posted a before with an after.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's like, well, what's before? My whole life's before.
Yeah.
And there's no after because you're just constantly evolving. So I've never done it, but I did need to promote the Aesthetic Concierge, and I needed to talk about this live that we were going to be doing. And so I just felt like this is the time.
It was the right time.
It was the right time to do it. I did it. And I've already talked about this type of comment, but I know that a lot of people think it.
Yeah.
And someone, came in and was just like, I started following you a couple years ago, and now I just feel like we don't have anything in common anymore because, this is the way you look now, and I still look like you're before. And so, again, just to reiterate that I am still Miranda.
Yes.
If you have been listening to this podcast
that's true.
last year.
That's a good point because if you're just listening, you're not seeing anybody.
That's right. Have I changed at all in my voice and what I'm willing to say and my personality and my sense of humor?
It's all been the same.
It's always the same.
Yeah.
And so if you are someone who's been listening, and I'm so grateful that we started this podcast when we did because I started at my heaviest.
You sure did.
And then now I am where I am now.
That's right.
And it gives people this faceless, bodiless version of me. Correct. And you can decide. And maybe I'm just not self-aware enough to say, no, you've really changed. You're kind of insufferable and whatever.
No.
No. But I do believe in my heart that I really haven't changed internally that much. In little bits of ways, my cholesterol's lower. That's internal.
It is.
It is. But I do hope that my legacy is not weight loss. I do not want the legacy that I leave this world with. If I died tomorrow and someone's going to give my eulogy, that it's not, and thank God she lost all that weight this last year, right? Like, yeah.
I mean, I might get up there and say, I'm glad she died then.
Yeah. It's lighter for those pallbearers to carry it. Am I right, you guys?
I would probably have to say something about
what you would say is,
went out
she lost all the weight and she still died young. Lowering the cholesterol wasn't good enough.
Well, it's like who was that? Oh, it was a reel I saw of a woman who, let's say she was probably like 250 and she was in a really bad car accident, but she only survived it because she was big.
Oh, it helped save her.
It helped kind of hold her in the car, and she still broke both her legs. She had years of rehab. But the paramedics and everybody said, if you had been in the right range, you would be dead. And she openly talks about it.
If your BMI was where it should have been. Okay, so in this case, there are exceptions.
Yeah.
Right? So there are exceptions to every rule. And like I said, I said on our live today, I'm like, hey, maybe some 600-pound life people are perfect inside. Like maybe there's nothing, maybe there's no comorbidity for them.
Yeah.
There just happen to be a couple for me. Now we're good to good. My A1C is exactly where it needs to be. My cholesterol is where it needs to be.
Yes.
My weight is where it needs to be in the normal range. All that is just like black and white stuff.
Yes.
And I understand that that's very hard for some people to witness from the outside.
Yeah.
But just know that like my body and my weight and the size I wear are the least interesting thing about me.
Yeah.
The absolute least interesting thing about me. I have so much more to offer this world. And if the only thing that you were following me for was my body, that's on you to figure out why.
Yeah.
That's on you to figure out why. Because I feel like it would be one thing if I were the influencer who did only post clothes.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Like
That's
I
true.
get that. If I were the influencer and all I did was ever post outfits and links and like to know it and everything was based on, okay, we're kind of close in size and so it's really important to me to see you try stuff on. Totally get it. But
that's not been you.
I have never been that. There have been several try-ons, don't get me wrong, I do know that. But like I'm hoping that I encourage you to get involved in your community, whether that's foster care or, being involved with local hospitals or whatever. I hope that I encourage you to call your grandma or your grandpa if they're still alive and go hang out with them.
Yeah.
I hope that I encourage you in parenting
Yes.
to have deeper, more meaningful relationships with your kids.
Yeah.
I hope that I encourage you in so many other ways that we can connect on.
Yep.
Far outside of my body, far outside of what I look like. So I do hope and pray that. I hope that there's something else I can bring. I am more interesting in my body. You are more interesting than your body. And that's just it. That's point blank period.
Were people coming into your DMs after you posted that? So people were just coming in and saying, I don't relate to you anymore. Was anybody being nasty?
No, I don't think anybody was nasty this time. Not yesterday.
Good. Okay, good.
Not yesterday because we've had so many of these come to Jesus talks.
You have.
And so
it's all saved in the
I'm
bubble.
able to just keep going back to that. Please just go watch the highlight bubbles where I'm in a Bravo t-shirt or a Bravo sweatshirt.
Yes.
Start there. You don't have to watch them all. You don't have to watch the hyperlapses of me lifting weights.
Yes.
I get it. Just keep going. Just keep going till the Bravo sweatshirt. Listen to my heart. Listen to me sob on Instagram. And then if you still have a problem, then it is time to unfollow.
It's time to unfollow.
That's fine. You don't have to. I unfollow people. Not everyone's for me for every season.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, I get that. That's a healthy way to view social media.
Yeah.
Not just I follow them forever and I hate watch half of their stuff.
It's true. I mean,
Don't
you
do
know
that.
I've been trying to go through, clean out my follows list to just be like, do I even know who half these people are?
No.
Maybe I used to ingest their content a lot, and now I don't know who they are, and I don't care.
Right?
But then Instagram gets mad when you try to unfollow too many people at once. They stop you at like,
Slow and steady.
yeah, you got to do like 40 at a time.
Yes.
40 at a time. Otherwise, it's going to
They are allowed to robo dump an amount of people, but you are not allowed to control your dumping of people.
I know. And they're also allowed to log us all out.
They sure did yesterday because they were rolling out that whole political thing.
Interesting, right?
Very interesting, where they are wanting to decide what political stuff you are going to see. So they are limiting political information until the election.
Yep.
But what it means is they are limiting based on what they think should be shown to people,
Correct.
not what you would like shown to you. So if you're someone who's like, well, I want to be the decider of that because I don't like censorship, then you can go and adjust those in the settings.
Yeah. Go to the settings.
We'll show you exactly how to do that on our Instagram stories.
Yeah, we'll show you, Guy, in case you are someone that does not want to be controlled by what Instagram says you should see. Yeah. And I don't think they should decide what you should see. I think you should get to decide.
That's right.
that.
You get to decide either way. And some people are like, I don't want to see a lot of political stuff. Then great. Then you can toggle that to the limited portion. And that's awesome. Like some
people don't want to know.
They don't want to see it.
They don't
you
wanna
are
see it.
my point is you're still going to see some stuff. They are limiting what you're going to see based on what they want you to see. Are y'all understanding this? It's not that it's taking it away. You're not choosing no political stuff. It's I'm okay with Instagram deciding what political stuff I am going to see.
Yeah.
That's when you toggle it to limited. If you want to see it all and then decide what you believe, what you don't believe, what you want to continue to listening to or don't, then you need to toggle that off. Yeah. That's what we're saying. And for me, I want to decide that. I don't want Mark Zuckerberg and his sunscreen face to decide that.
That receipt,
It was a jump scare.
it's such a jump scare, but I love that it lives on our Instagram feed.
And I made it the picture of it.
I love that it's the number one like main photo on our feed. If that doesn't draw people in, I don't know what will.
I mean, he owns all of it. He might as well be on the cover.
Own it.
Own it.
Name him. That is what that photo was giving.
Yeah, it is giving that. It's frightening. That amount of sunscreen is not normal. Like, dude, just wear a hat or a ski mask or something at this point. I don't know, but like, no one else on that beach deserves to see that. Also, maybe he has a private beach, so maybe no one else.
I was just gonna say, I bet it's a private beach.
He owns that whole
somebody had a long length lens zooming in, and he looked like a T-Rex with his arms looking over with a white face.
But did you also, that's of all the pictures that Jessica posted on her stories about it today, she used that one.
She did.
I'm like, we have probably the same like camera roll of stuff. Just like all Kate and all Mark. Just
I love it.
It's like Lily, Bella, Mark Zuckerberg, Kate Middleton. That's my camera roll. And my cats.
And some cats and some more royals. You got Princess Diana in there.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
All right, you guys. So we're going to I can't promise you what's coming in the next couple weeks, and here's why. Because we're on the verge of spring breaks.
Yes.
And
traveling.
We're going to have to figure this out. I don't know if that's going to be some Zoom episodes. I don't know. So just stand by. We're doing our best to be with you every week. Just know that.
Yeah. Thursday might be like a live again where we're in different places and then we join up and talk about something cute or funny or whatever. But it might be, for the next couple of weeks, just be patient with us. We hope that we've given you enough content to go back on and listen to. Of course, if you have not subscribed to our Patreon yet, maybe right now would be a good time to do that because then you could just binge everything on there over the next couple of weeks where we might be a little bit lighter, shorter, or gone.
Yes.
And so then you have all of that new content that you haven't seen yet. Anyway, so that could be a great time to do that. And again, you can unsubscribe anytime. So maybe it's like a $6 this month in order to get you through the little lull, and then you can unsubscribe if you want to. It's not that deep.
It's not that deep. Yeah. It's $6 a month. We're trying to give y'all some good, juicy, real juicy stuff over there. A lot of infections and major medical problems happening over on Patreon.
And chats with our sisters and Mary. Who doesn't want that?
And Matt, we need another Patreon.
Please, Matt.
I really should just come in here and record something with Matt and put it on Patreon.
Do it.
Maybe I will.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
To be continued.